We're set for a collision course at Martinsville Speedway this weekend as NASCAR returns for 3 races, including the marquee event, the Cookout 400. Now joining us now is 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion and High Point native Ryan Blaney of the number 12 Ford for Team Penske. Ryan, I tell you what, you must have some ice in your veins because you've been Mr. Cool under pressure at Martinsville as of late, winning the last 2 fall races there. What do you remember about those victories?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. And I guess the biggest thing I remember about those 2 wins in the fall were just what it led to. You know, in 23, it led us to winning the championship. And then last year when we won in 24, we kind of had it. We went into Martinsville having to win, to have another shot at a championship. And we were able to pull it off. So Martinsville has a very special place in my heart ever since I was a kid, being from just down the road. And it's been neat to have some success there as an adult.
You think about all the different tracks along the circuit, everyone's unique. What are some of the unique characteristics about Martinsville?
Yeah, that's the beauty of NASCAR and really all of motorsports is each weekend is unique, right? Each track is different in its own way, and even though maybe they look the same, you know, they have their own little characteristics. And I would say Martinsville is one of its own. You're never going to see a track like it. You know, they call it the paperclip. It looks just like one. Long straightaways, really tight corners. I think the difference in surface is pretty unique to that place. You know, asphalt straightaways, concrete corners, no other places like that. So a lot of action everywhere you look, and people see it, and I saw it as a kid, and I'm like, oh, this place doesn't look very hard. And I've done these short tracks before, but it is just its own animal and takes different things to be good at it. So, and you have to be ready to be in the, you know, to be in the grinder for 500 laps around that place. You know, things are gonna not go your way, and it's just how do you kind of keep a cool head and a cool mindset, you know, to get you to the end.
As a driver, do you notice any difference in preparation for a short track race versus, say, a super speedway or road course?
Yeah, the prep is different each week, and I prepare a lot different from like you said, a speedway to a short track like Martinsville. You know, from drivers to the team aspect, it's all different. Just set up, and then as myself, like I try to put myself in the mindset of, okay, this is how I have to think, you know, going into this weekend, and then this is how I think the race is going to go. And that differs from a speedway. It's just a completely different kind of game, I guess. So, but that's the cool part about it. Like, how do you switch up week to week? You know, how do you switch your mindset up week to week to be successful from a Martinsville to a super speedway? But that keeps it challenging, and that's what sports should be. It should be challenging, and that's why you see the best groups, you know, be able to rise to the occasion.
You know, one of the neat things about Martinsville is the trophy, the coveted grandfather clock. Every driver that goes there that wins gets one of those. You've got a couple in your collection.
Yeah.
You know, just how special was it to win that trophy, and where do you have yours currently?
Yeah, you know, I don't think there's any other racetrack that we go to where drivers talk about the trophy that much like they do with Martinsville, and I think that's just made it a unique place through the years. Is everyone talks about, I want the grandfather clock, you know, I want that thing, and I've been lucky to get 2 now, and they stay in my house, and I keep them wound every week. You have to wind them every 7 days, and daylight saving time came around, so I had you know, it's just like your oven, you got to go in there and you got to wind it or fix it. It doesn't change like your phone does, but it's nice to have them in there. It's a cool centerpiece, you know, to whatever you want, and when it chimes every hour, that's always a nice reminder of what you were able to do.
Now, you talked about it a little bit ago, you're originally from High Point. Your dad was actually a race car driver as well, and of course you've raced at Martinsville many times before. What are some of the memories that you just remember about Martinsville specifically?
Well, a lot of my core memories from a kid is at Martinsville. You know, every single year, twice a year, we would go up and watch Dad race before I was running, me and my family, and it's really neat to see, you know, 25 plus years later of, you know, families doing the same thing. You know, maybe their family member isn't racing, but just taking their kids to the racetrack and just sharing that love of motorsports and sharing the love of that speedway with their kids, because that's just what I did, you know, and I was able to see that at a young age and knew this place was special ever since I was young. And, you know, I remember I was like 4 or 5 years old the first time we ever went that I can remember, and just seeing what a unique place this is. So it's really neat for me to kind of look back, you know, now that I'm a middle-aged adult and see, man, I was in those shoes, you know, 25 years ago and just loving it. And that means the sport is healthy and alive, and Martinsville is a great place for that.
Of course, we've got a big race this upcoming weekend at Martinsville. When you take a step back and look at the overall picture of the schedule itself, you know, Team Penske, they've won the last 3 Cup Series championships. So I've got to put you on the spot here a little bit. Is Team Penske the team to beat again in 2025?
Well, I hope so. We've proved it the last 3 years. It's just a matter of how do you stay there. And what I love about our group over at Team Penske is, you know, no matter how good or bad things are going, they're always looking to the future, right? How do we be our best at this time? And yeah, you know, our group has won the last 3 championships in a row, but no one's ever satisfied. Like, no one gets relaxed and like, oh, we got this in the bag. We've done it, you know, 3 in a row. They're always hungry for the next thing, and that's a cool group to be with. You know, never want to kind of relax. So hopefully we can, you know, continue this run. It's hard to do, you know, and it's special what they've been able to do, and us as a group have been able to do. But yeah, I would think we're the group that everyone's kind of, you know, got their pitchforks up in arms trying to capture. But we'll see. It's just a matter of keeping it up. But we got a great group, and hopefully we can keep doing it.
All right. Well, thanks again so much for your time today, Ryan. I appreciate it. And folks at home, you can see Ryan and his race team in action this weekend at Martinsville Speedway. On Sunday, the green flag drops at 3.